Oh, I know she signed this someplace.
On this episode of Can 1, Fred Salo. Why? He knew my mom in middle school. Then they reconnected at their 25-year class reunion.
There she is. Kathy. Want to see? Hey, it's only 40-some years ago.
A few months ago, Fred and I connected on Facebook. He told me he recently died and came back. I asked Fred if he'd like to be on an episode of Can 1. He agreed. Yeah, how would you make an entrance?
How would I make an entrance?
Yeah.
And they'd scream or whatever, and I'd laugh. So I got to be known as a joker. 61 and I feel like a baby learning new things. Or at least learning how to do them. I think that's the right password. It's been so long since I've been on my own site. Because no one looks at it anymore anyway. And that's what this song is about. I'm not going to listen to influences that don't hit right in my heart. Because it's counterproductive. I'm not defined by you. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, and I know you'll agree with this, is that love is what makes this world go around. It's not money. I wrote this, I guess, oh my gosh, I wrote that long ago? Oh well. It goes, when I see the stars shining in your eyes, it comes as no surprise. They open up a universe of feelings so different and new. I only know that you are the North Star that guides me through and deep into the mysteries of love. And the bridges, there's no one I can think of. You're the only star that lights the way to the mysteries of love. It had a real melancholy feel to it. I just started crying. And my mom, was all, well, what's wrong? Do you have a temperature? You're so right. And I remember being, at 4 years old, being embarrassed that I was crying because of a song.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'll always remember that song, that melody to that song. It was da 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 da, and it sort of repeated that refrain. And that's what music's always done for me, and I think it does that for people. I think that if we have more of love motivated songs nowadays, I think it would pull a lot of people out of the the angst type of thing. This is my understanding of how I have to learn to love my wife, and I'm learning day by day. And gosh, we've been married 30 years, still learning, prayerfully. I've forgotten how to love. Maybe I never knew. Please help me learn to love. Takes us, man, a long time to learn. It's about commitment, and the commitment is that those things that you do that cause broken hearts, those lies that that you don't even mean to commit, but you do, they break hearts. But the ones who know how to learn how to love, they weather those times, and they grow stronger because of those times. Well, that's good timing, Jojo. Good watering. Oh, grab your paper up.
He's going for the paper.
You will go for the paper. Looks like pea material.
No idea where the expression originated. Source, askbill.amazon.com.
That's Wet Willie right there.
The Wet Willie.
That's Wet Willie. Somewhere 68, there had a dog named Willie. He was a little Labrador, and he loved to sneak up on you and lick your ear. And my girlfriend says, "Oh, he's wetting my ear. It's wet." And I said, "Wet Willie in your ear." Yeah, and they caught on. But it was really strange because that's the summer I went up to Alaska for the first time, and people were giving wet willies to each other. I said, "Where'd you hear that? Where'd you get that?"
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, I don't know. We just started doing it." I said, "No, you didn't." Someone came up and did it. And there was a friend of mine that moved up from Shoreline to Anchorage, where I was staying at the time. And I said, "John Burns brought it up there, didn't he?" I don't know. But Wet Willie was started right here in Shoreline, Washington. You got it?
Researchers in the U.S. suggest that 10 million Americans have had an NDE. Source, encyclopedia.com.
I had a near-death experience. I had an abdominal aortal aneurysm, and I bled out, and I died. When the aid people got to the house, I'll back up a little bit. My precious dogs. When I fell to the floor, I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone and told him that I had these major pains in my left side, and 3 times in a row. The third one brought me to my face, and I told him that I'll call you back. And then I couldn't speak anymore. And the 2 dogs I have, a Labrador and a pug, my wife had worked a graveyard shift the night before, so she was in bed still. They went and they beat on that door. They jumped against the door and had the strangest howling I'd ever heard before. And so they woke Bobby up, and she came out and saw me, and she called the aid people. And I owe my dogs a big one. My life, yeah, I owe them a lot. Yeah. And on the way to the hospital, they kept turning me and trying to get pulse and blood pressure, but they couldn't get it. And I overheard them say that they were going to go to Harborview. And I said, "Hey guys, I will not make it to Harborview. Go to Northwest Hospital and hurry." And so they did. And I went to Northwest Hospital and had the surgery, which saved my life. But when they pulled out the breathing apparatus, I came to, and I looked at my wife. Now, I don't remember this, but she told me, she said, "The light did not want me yet." I wasn't supposed to die. And so my life, now, really my life, is about redeeming the time I have. I go to the store and I talk to everyone. Everyone's fair game to me. I just love to talk with people. And it was one summer day, and I got all dressed, wear my what are these called? What kind of pants?
The
cargo pants,
yeah,
cargo shorts and t-shirt, and went to the store really happy. And I was going around talking to people, but they were giving me strange looks. Like people didn't want to talk to me, and I thought, I smelled my armpits and did the breath thing, and gosh, this is really strange. And it was the same thing at the post office. People didn't want to talk to me, and I felt, man, bad vibes today. Beautiful day for bad vibes. And so I got home, and my dear wife, points at my butt and starts laughing her head off, and I go, what? I turned around and looked in the mirror. I had one of her pads sticking right up the middle of my butt. When I went to get dressed, she had laid it on the bed unbeknownst to me, and I sat right in the middle of it and stuck right up my butthole. Right up my crack. And I didn't go back to that.
It was perfectly placed.
I didn't go back to that store for a couple of weeks, did I? I was embarrassed. And this is a pole building I built. It has a studio apartment in it, and also a place where we recorded all of our songs and music, and our band would practice. Miss that old house. Things change. We owned the house for 55 years. And see that big blue spruce right there?
Yeah.
We planted that for my mother.
So worn out and tired from my search for some eternal truth in my now faded youth.
Yeah. Because I know that I got a second chance on life. I know that. And probably if I go back over the years of all my going out, probably quite a few more times, I just wasn't aware of it. This made it, when you die and you come back, it makes you more aware of the importance of living each day to the fullest. I think it takes a lot more energy to be depressed than it does to be happy. If we could instill in people that importance with anyone that we come into contact with, anyone and everyone, that love.
It's kind of a treat others how you would want to be treated. I mean, is that kind of the idea?
golden rule? The golden rule, definitely. The Piper is so important because I did lose a brother to alcoholism at 40. He was 46 years old, way too young to die. And then I was caught up into it. When I didn't feel God was handling it, that's what I would do. I'd go out and get smashed and cause pain for my family and myself, and for whoever came across my path, actually. So it was
No hope for the selfish SOB. So I'll write a song to buy a drink for you and me, and play the fool lying to get my way. The piper must be paid every day. Oh, the piper must be paid every day.
Yuppins. Yeah, to this day, I really miss my brother.
The sun comes out. I open my eyes and I realize this is the day you have made.
I knew that I was going to go off the deep end, and I told God. I said, well, if you're the God of the universe, Jesus Christ, whatever, you have to show me a church to go to. And so I ran into 3 different people that said, hey, try Calvary Fellowship out. And I went, whoa, that's too coincidental. Didn't go out, I went out drinking at the same place, right? And that night I got hit by a car coming home. And went home, patched myself up, and I said, I'll go next Friday. Went to the same stupid place. That night, ran into a couple guys that told me there was a party where there was a whole bunch of drinking and a lot of fun things happening. I'll go home. When I was walking out to their vehicle, I said, I'm not going to drive. They said, we'll drive. I was walking ahead, they mugged me. Blackjacks on each side of the head. When I came to, a policeman had me around the neck. I was still fighting. That Sunday, I went to church looking like a monster. And that seriously, it was a tough road. I just didn't jump into Christianity. I challenged God and He answered my prayer. And I turned my back on Him even then, Then I've been going to the same church ever since. 30 plus years. But it's been an up and down walk, because I'm stubborn.
You're supposed to, after you get done doing any kind of walking around, so you're supposed to wait 5 minutes before you take it. Get to check it out. He wants me to do it 3 times a day. goggles. It gives me a better workout if I go on my toes. I'm not supposed to be doing this yet before my angiogram. You know, they don't want me to exert myself, but it's such a beautiful day. Gosh. What better way, I mean, if I were to collapse and stuff like that and die, what a beautiful way to go, huh? Doing what you love to do. I'm not being dramatic, but you should listen to the doctor sometimes, don't you think? Not all the time. Now, I've been coming here since I was 5 years old. That would have been 1954. Here it is. Where Young Dreams Begin, dedicated to the memory of our young players, by the Chris Jessup family in North King County Little League. Now, this Chris played on Jesse's team. He was a great little ball player. He was playing a couple years ahead of his time. David Lloyd is a good friend of mine's son, who died in 1990. Chris died in 1994. Rex Hammond was a good friend of Jesse also, 98 of cancer. Scott Chambers was the son of a friend I went to high school with. But all these kids died at a very, very young age. Well, there really was only two options. Either you're going to go to college or you're going to go to Vietnam. And some of my friends chose college. Some of them chose going in the service. And those who chose going in the service, the majority of them went to Vietnam. And some of them didn't come back. And they found out I had a brain hemorrhage, so they classified me 1Y, which the only way I'd go into the service would be under national emergency. And we were never invaded, so that didn't happen. Let's face it, there's always going to be war. There is always going to be war. It's man's base human nature, and to fight for what other people have. But I really believe the heart of America is freedom. During 9/11, I consider the people that were actually soldiers were the people that, you know, the firemen, the policemen, the aid people that went into those buildings knowing that they were risking their lives, and a lot of them died. There was, I think, 3,000 people that perished in that or more. Sometimes we take for granted the freedom inherent in the USA. We forget the cost and the lives lost to ensure the rights of everyone every day. Each neighbor has a common goal, the voice to be heard. No matter the faith or skin color, we all stand for one word. Mountains to the sea in the USA. Freedom, no evil on earth will take away our liberty in the USA. Okay.
born into life. We're given a first chance at life. But how many of us really live like it's our second chance? If given another chance at life, what would you do with it?